the Big 2 Local Weather Authority forecast. We warn you first with Chief Meteorologist Chase Menendez.
Well, good evening, everybody. We've got a pretty good look on top of Midland right now. Some of these storms are approaching the southern end of Odessa, or rather tracking down to the south from the southern end of Odessa. Not a very windy tower cam look, but we did have a spider web on there that was kind of blowing around in the breeze. Looks like it actually was ejected by some of that wind right now. Very large flares in the background, thanks to the West Texas State Bank Sky Tracker. We've got a good look at all those conditions out there, and we had a pretty fair amount of heat today, coming in just a little bit below average, but here in West Texas in the summertime, average is still pretty hot. 95 degrees is the normal for this time of year. We picked up to 94 degrees for our high temperature. Our lows a little bit higher than the average of 69 degrees. That just indicates a lot of moisture in the air. That water vapor kind of absorbs the sun's energy, doesn't allow us to fluctuate in temperature as much as the average does for this time of year. That means we've got a lot of excess moisture out there, that high pressure working itself out, continuing to track to the east. So that's allowing a lot of rainfall in because we don't have much stable conditions as compared to what we saw last week with that high pressure in place. And all that excess moisture is turning into a lot of rainfall. Got a little of that working its way through the western edge of our viewing area, but if you're in Odessa or Midland, you probably heard some rumblings of thunder, or if you're in the northern Basin, Lamesa, probably hearing some rumbles of thunder as well. We've got a pretty good amount of couple of thunderstorms popping off and a lot of rainfall outlining those thunderstorms too. Now, in addition, all that rainfall has given us some flood concerns. We've got a flood advisory in effect until 11 p.m., so another 45 or so minutes on that before that works its way out. And the big reason for that is this widespread rainfall. It's producing a fair amount of lightning. It's a pretty good-sized thunderstorm. Any lightning strikes that we're hearing do sound pretty powerful, but I really think that's just the topography. I think it's just very flat here in West Texas. As this storm kind of blossoms and blooms itself out, it's a good indication rather, to see that it's not a very powerful thunderstorm. Notice any hail cores, well, they're generally pretty small moving through the center of Odessa. I don't expect a lot of damage to result from this. This hail is generally going to be about 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch in size. Not very big. Not good enough to break out windows or anything like that. Even this hail core with some of these bluish colors indicate hail less than severe weather threshold. So it's not a very powerful storm, and it does look like it's already beginning to fade out, a lot like the storms that we saw south of I-10. They've all faded out, tracking down to the south, just leaving behind remnants and a lot of isolated showers in place right now. We did have a lot of showers all day here in Texas, especially here in our neck of the woods in West Texas. We got a lot of those showers. As a result, cooled our temperatures down a pretty good bit, but as we head into the overnight hours, remember, all that water vapor in the air absorbed the sun's energy, so it's going to hold on to that heat. Our temperatures overnight are not going to drop off as quickly as what we have seen the past couple of days, even if our high temperatures were below average. Now, we do have a good chance for some more showers overnight tonight into the early morning hours, but not a very high chance. This model not doing a great job at picking up on what we see across the basin, but it still does show a couple of areas of concern. A couple of showers south of I-10 and that one storm cell off to the east of our viewing area. And going forward through the evening, overnight hours, most of that's going to work itself out. And as we head to tomorrow afternoon, we do have a pretty fair chance to see some thunderstorms developing and sweeping in from the west. Even here in Odessa, Midland, we've got a small chance to see some of those storms. Now, I don't expect them to be as powerful as that model is suggesting, but, you know, it's good to show a very high-end model so that, you know, you get kind of an idea of the worst-case scenario. And even that, not showing too much in the way of hail chances, only a 40% chance for thunderstorms to develop overhead in Midland and Odessa tomorrow afternoon. And we do have a small chance for that to spill over into Thursday morning. But Thursday afternoon, looking very clear, looking a little sunny, a little warm. I'm trying to say it's a good day to get out and celebrate 4th of July.
Well, that's what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of the 4th of July, the